have any intention of doing this in any way, shape, or form, but how exactly did you give give the Air Master keys?
Huh?
Did you gave the Air Master keys to the Air Master, correct? Or did somebody else handle doing that?
I think Jesus did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't
That's
know
what
what
I
that.
needed to know.
I need to. What do you mean by that exactly? I think you need to be more specific. I'm assuming you mean something that can do special things, right?
It's somehow that person had to be hired to sign in as the air marshal. It's fine. I think I understand.
Yeah,
Yep. Thank you.
Nick Simone is my air
Yeah.
master.
Yep. I got it. Thank you.
Listen, Justice Weiss, I'm gonna. Can I be frank with you? I was gonna do it in the room.
Yeah.
I know you're new, but I'm gonna be very explicit here. You're new. The DOJ is a fucking mess. Someone needs to fix it. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone else.
Do you see what I'm doing? Like,
No. I get it, but I want you to mostly hear what I got to say so I can get it off my shoulder. And then, I wasn't going to do it in the room because I think it'd be unprofessional, but I want you to get my perspective here for a moment, right?
Okay.
I'm glad you're in that position now, right? And I believe you when you say you want to do things better. But I want you to, from our POV, right? A month ago, the government came in. 6 weeks prior to that, he told us to resolve these things, right? And we had this meeting today where the DOJ was supposed to attend with all their homework ready to go. And at the last minute, we're being
told...
Who
said that, though? I had no idea.
I understand, Weiss. That's why I'm telling you the problem so you can understand. Because, you probably weren't told this, but the justices who were present at the meeting knew that we were going to meet today and that they're going to come there prepared with answers to what's going on, what we're going to do with this FOIA stuff, what we're going to be doing with the marshal stuff. And before this meeting took place, and I understand that you kind of came last minute, and I feel bad for you because I think you actually came in. That's probably why you got the energy, because we're like, what the fuck? Like, where is everybody? Where's the information? Is we were told a couple hours before, none of the judges can show up, right? On the day of. And then we're told, okay, the meeting's going to happen. We're still assuming we're going to get something to chew on, right? Like some response. And nothing was brought to the table, right? So I don't know what the issue is, right? I don't expect you to know what the issue is, but I want to make sure that I at least conveyed where my energy was coming from.
I get you. I understand that. I appreciate that. My intention in coming into this meeting was to get up to speed on stuff. I definitely didn't have anything in terms of an agenda, things that were planned to be discussed about, anything to know what to do. I didn't have the study guide to do the homework.
Well, I
didn't know any of that was supposed to happen. Now that I've got read in on all this shit, definitely intend on having a better grasp of these issues to present at the next meeting. And that's why I said, hopefully it doesn't, given that these things have been taking so long, it doesn't take all the way till next week. Hopefully we can catch each other during the week and get some of this shit addressed before having to go to a whole nother meeting.
And I think it needs to as well. Like, I know Arcadia's cooking. Like, I get it. I know she's busy, right? But I'm not going to accept her excuse for the rest of the DOJ, right? Or your excuse for the rest of the DOJ. If you're showing up, that's good, right? I get it's the holidays and whatnot. Let me readjust. I know that you're trying to cook. I know Arcadia is trying to cook, right? But at the end of the day, y'all are one of 4 legislative bodies, and it's the only one that's currently dysfunctional in these meetings. Between the 3 of us, we're able to get things sorted really fast. I don't know what the solution is on your end. Maybe there is a strong desire for a speaker that can at least speak on the behalf of the DOJ, not be the decision maker, but at least the hearer of the opinions. Here's what the agenda is, because let me point at what I mean specifically, is that the fact that you weren't even updated on what this meeting was about is in and of itself a dysfunctionality in the DOJ. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I mean communication breakdown. That's why so
Yeah.
ultimately what you guys have around you is your gaggle of staff, and that's not ever been established within the DOJ, and something that I'm cooking on when it comes to the state clerks, of being more of that, like our organizational arm, to make sure that all of that actually stays on track. Because it's a joke to think that I'm going to be able to shoulder all of that completely on my own, or even just going to like.
But like, there's a reason why there's like, even in the Supreme Court, there's what is it called? Like the first seat or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, what that will end up becoming is a quasi chief justice, and absolutely, I don't want anything having to do with any of that.
But here's the problem though, when you guys have random justices show up at the meeting and you don't know what the meeting is about, what the agenda is, who's doing.
It's not random. I got hired 2 days ago.
No. Weiss, don't overread into what I'm saying, right?
I know, but like, that's not going to happen. This is the first of the meetings with new justices and all that, and like, I don't want to call it a reformation of government.
It wasn't the first meeting, brother. This is like meeting number 5. Yeah, that's my point.
I'm trying to fix it, but you got to give me a little bit of time. This is my meeting number 1. I know you're tired of hearing that.
Well, hold on. How are you? But just to make sure we understand, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but what do you mean you're going to fix it if you're not the speaker, right?
Because I'm going to push without being the speaker, and obviously somebody will have to be the speaker at each of these meetings, but that's not that
I
can
see.
rotate.
That's what you're saying.
But like, okay. I'm pushing for this structurally to change and be better and us be more organized. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get that done. I know people are tired of hearing that, but I can't change that.
Okay. You know what?
I can't. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get it done.
I am going to put my trust in you on that. Are the other justices on board, or is this like a personal commitment, or is this an attempt? Like, where I'm saying is, as the mayor of Los Santos, am I hearing that you, Justice Weiss, are going to take this on? Have like the rest of the justices agreed to this, or you know what I mean? I don't want to take
It's not that I'm taking it on to be the speaker at every meeting. I'm saying I am driving structural change within the justices. I've not been nominated, appointed by the other justices in any way, shape, or form. I'm just in my role as a justice, being active and doing what needs to be done.
Weiss?
I do not want to be the chief justice.
You and Arcadia. All right, Arcadia. What about her as the chief justice? Come on,
I don't think anybody should be a chief justice.
Let's fix this.
I don't like the concept of a chief justice. I think it's improper.
Come down. We'll break a line up. We'll talk about it.
No. Maybe since that's not scheduled, maybe at some point, but no, we're not gonna do that. Nobody should be chief justice.
Weiss. Who knows how long?
A couple days. That's all we have.
Actually, I don't think we have a couple days because you guys fucking bozos are taking fucking 3 months to get anything done. There hasn't been a new shit that's passing God knows how long.
Well, I'm working on that too. This is what I'm saying.
You know I have.
So you literally know how much. Okay.
If you do a line right now in my office, I bet we'll catch up.
Fuck, that's tempting. I probably shouldn't.
All right. All I'm going to ask for, and you know, and I do apologize. Like I said, my patience is running thin, and I'm running out of targets. All right. But, you know, how about this? Can you and me 2 days prior to Sunday revisit what the plan is for Sunday? Because I think we need to pre-bake. This is the agenda for the meeting. You know what I mean? Because I'm hearing.
Yeah, we can talk throughout the weekend, and it doesn't have to be whenever. At any point throughout the week, we can start crafting an agenda for the next week.
Okay.
I have already talked about a method for which we can communicate that I said that I talked to you about personally after there. So there was previously a section for just the marshals and the DOC.
Yeah.
I, since coming in 2 days ago, have also spent, I think, probably 8 to 10 hours expanding that to include the entirety of the DOJ, clerks, lawyers, etc. I think it would be very easy to just add another section for the mayor's offices and intercommunication between the DOJ and the mayor's offices.
Like a document sharing, because that's the other thing. I don't want to give you a pile of stuff, but like to come into that meeting and be like, hey, we're supposed to be done with version 2 of the process document, like, and there's 0 comments, and you don't even know where the document is crazy.
Yep.
You get
No,
that
I think
right?
an important
Which just
document
tells me
section
that
specific
everyone
to
is
avoid
fucking
cheddar.
useless, right? I'm not saying you guys are, but that's what it feels like, right?
The problem also is that a lot of things that were restricted to just justices and not necessarily open to complete communication amongst the DOJ, we have never been given a separate section for that. I tried and then got told I had to do it separate. So
it gets I'm thrown into like a waterfall of whatever.
Yes, but now it's already, but that has already been solved. Justices already have a private place to communicate now. Like I've done a lot of cooking over the last 48 hours. You know,
Can you do the following for me? This is gonna make me happy at least.
Okay.
Post my audit at least, right? Because that was always supposed to be the next step. But all of them.
All of them. Okay.
Yeah. And then, like, say that we're gonna discuss this on Sunday, all the legislative, instead of moving forward with the audit. Just so we need to track this, Weiss, because everyone's forgetting what's being said at the meetings, right? I know you're coming in first time, but like we didn't actually even agree. What the fuck are we doing with V1? Everyone said they agreed to it. Dude, should I go up and update it? Who's signing it? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I haven't read V1, so sorry. I now have V1 and V2. I need to read it.
Well, okay. You ready for the problem though? Let me read you this email.
One more time, you know.
Let me read you this email.
Are we good to go on V1?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It says V1 is good to go.
Does he need to post it, or do we post it?
Contest periods. Someone just needs to post it, and it'll be acknowledged.
Okay, so Nino, you posted apparently.
I will post it, but I need to know which one of you guys is signing it. I need a list of all the signatures.
V1 goes. If you want to do it right now, V1 goes. If we want to fix V2 and just send it on V2 and as one thing, then that's fine. If you want to do it for V1 first and then V2. What? Okay, hold on. Come here.
Weiss, I need a list. I need you guys to go and all sign it.
Okay.
All the judges and all the justices that signed the document need to sign the document. You get what I'm saying, right? You all reviewed it. Not you, but the rest of them.
So she's saying that you post it from your guys' end, and then we say we acknowledge and agree. And then it goes into
And that
effect.
will be the signature?
Right.
Can you ask her? Do you mean,
do our signatures actually go on the document, or
that's how we traditionally do it?
After it goes through the contest phase, then we sign it, because that's us certifying on behalf of the DOJ that the contest phase has ended and is officially enacted into law.
Despite you being co-editors.
Despite us being co-editors. Yeah, because that's our certification that the contest period has completed. And that it is officially enacted into law. At the point that it bears the signatures of the justices, at that point it is law. So we don't sign off on it unless it will.
Yeah, listen, Weiss, Arcadia and the other judges.
I'm here with Arcadia. She's the one feeding this to me.
Yeah. Let me call her real quick.
Wait, where are you? We're just downstairs. Are you still upstairs?
Yeah, come upstairs. All right. Serenity now, serenity now, serenity now. I feel like I'm going to lose my mind because I feel like I'm being the bad guy right now over literal such absolute like unnecessary arguments where these guys reviewed this document. They need their signature on it. But I feel like I'm needing to be a dick for no reason. So the issue is there's a new set of rules and a new set of understanding on what is up and what is down instead of any transition of power, and they want to do it whatever they want to do. But the thing is, like, it's all complete. I don't fucking know, bro. Oh, are they coming up? Okay.
With you if I was around.
I
Yeah.
know. I know.
So-
You like your cowboy hat though.
All
What's
right.
up, Nino?
Okay.
So the okay, so the V1 document, I need the names of all the judges. Either they need to sign the document as
Co-writer?
yes.
Yeah. I don't know who actually helped initially write that. Was it on the document, like the former document?
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
We can take a look. I think that needs to be in there too. But I
'Cause
think
the thing
what
is,
was
like,
getting
what if
lost
those people are not judges anymore?
that needs to be in there too. Yeah. I see what you're saying. The manner by which
It's
it should
Angel, Hallow, and Heart. Well, no,
Yeah.
that's them signing it was no, that's them signing it into law.
be correct. And then there
the
needs
writers
to be
aren't even on the initial document.
The writers are typically not on the legislation.
I didn't think so.
It-
Okay, so I'm not crazy.
eh? No, it is. Guys,
Where?
come on. I'm gonna lose my mind
No,
here.
not from our
Where?
side.
All this,
Well-
you got what? What do you mean? It's on
There's
the,
just
I'm looking
conclusion
at it right
and
now.
signature. Like I'm just looking at like business license protocols, right? That's one of your guys's.
When it's
no,
put
as
on
far
the-
as this is
I
your
keep calling
guys'.
it the doc, but when it's put on the City Hall tab, then yes, absolutely. But when it's actually put into legislation and put onto all of our, MDTs and into effect, the writer's signature is not there.
I'm looking at state
Yeah, it is actually
legislation.
Los Santos. So it looks
But
like
I
they've
think
been
that
putting it in
changed
with
with the
mayors.
counties. Yeah, but before that, before the counties, that wasn't a thing much. I think maybe largely
They're
because
literally
all
just
the
making
legislation
shit
was
up.
So
written by
This is
the
what-
DOJ.
signatures are
This
you
is the
looking
one
for in
trigger
this
point I got.
document? Who
If
are
you
trying to
don't
get
know,
signed?
don't say.
Who needs to sign it? You're saying from DOJ side.
Everybody that reviewed it and had a pot in okaying this.
Okay, so then I would sign
Yeah.
this.
Correct. And
All
the
right.
reason for that is we need the names of the original writers and then all the ones that amended it so that in the event, it's for record keeping, right? So if someone has an issue with this in the future, we know who's conflicted. Also, who the citizenry can discuss with. So that if they see my name on it, your name on it, they know they can approach us
Yeah.
since we'll have the context, right?
Well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily fall within the same purview as us because that's supposed to be a mentality for all legislation, but I understand your point.
Yep.
So I think that's maybe why initially we didn't have writers attached to legislation. It was because people should know to come to us to talk about all of it.
I don't know where is that actually the case? I don't think I've seen.
I wasn't there back in the day. This is me grasping at straws.
Yeah, you mean before
'cause,
the new constitution?
So
No, so like look at
gosh.
like speed limits, for example, right? Just right. Obviously, that was discussed amongst the entire judiciary, but the entire judiciary and every person that discussed it and reviewed it
Right.
did not
Why are
sign
they-
off on it. Only the
Like-
justice enacting the law signed. it.
right.
Where?
Like I'm also looking at legislation proposals and approval process. It's just a signature of the justices of it going into effect. There's no writer.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be there. That hadn't been done previously.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
why
just
we're
what
like,
we were
why
asking for. I
this
actually
is
don't
a hiccup.
disagree that there should
Yeah.
be some record of who participated in
I agree.
providing input into these legislations. At some point, Angel did start doing that because I wrote. What did I write that she put my name on once? Because she said she should start acknowledging the people that actually wrote
I
the
think that
things.
there may have been things that came into place that the higher government put into place that may not have been signed off. But there's probably a lot of little idiosyncrasies on the very, very first one or two pieces of legislation, you know?
It's just an amendment though, right? So it would just be going underneath the signature, the original signatures, as saying last amended by, and then the justices who signed off on it. It doesn't need the writers. I mean, if we're going forward in this avenue, I like it. I do, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying that's not the way it has been
It's not
happening.
required
This
by
is-
law or anything.
Right.
Yeah, this is how Los Santos County does it. That's how I
Okay.
advise the other two legislative bodies to
But
do it
this
as
is
well.
state legislation.
Who cares? Let's do it better.
Well, I agree, but I'm just saying we don't. How do I say
Alright,
that?
so
We
hold
don't
on,
have the names that you're looking for.
If this is a holdup, I guess that is, it's not legally required. So if you want to get this done ASAP, if Arcadia signing it as the for the member,
Do
of
we
the
not
DOJ
know?
that was
Wait,
reviewing it or whatever.
but we know who reviewed this, right?
It was me.
Ah, okay. Were there other justices or judges that reviewed it?
I'll listen, man. I'll be honest. Who's the one who's been talking to you the most about this stuff and actually getting it done? Maybe people have looked at it, but no one has talked to me about it.
I will kill the rest of them for you so you
Thank
can
you.
run it. Maury,
Thank
please become the next justice. Take the other Grayson as well. Because, like, if literally they're not doing anything and y'all are showing up, then fuck them so we can make forward progress. Because none of this is about
We're
us.
doing that. We literally are doing that. Look
we-
at you're
we are
standing in front of
active.
two justices
Give me a
who are
name.
working their ass
Give me a
off.
name.
Listen,
Who are they?
Nino, get
Who are they?
Nino, listen. The reality
Nino,
is
Master
that
Come on,
there
man.
are other justices that might not necessarily be as active as we are, but they have a breadth of knowledge, experience that we and guidance for us that we
Yeah.
have to be able to tap into.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would be blind and just going off
Yeah,
of nothing.
This
we can't-
transition would
yeah.
be brutal without them.
I imagine at
we
some
need
point
their
in the future,
information.
the ones that
Who's-
are not active
Yeah,
will
but who's
probably
they?
not.
Hot
For
hasn't
the
been.
justice at Hart and
who's
Hello,
here and
you know?
who's
Yeah,
not.
Hello just showed up
Yeah.
for like 4 weeks.
And God
Did he?
bless them.
He did
They
something on
got
the
thrown
today.
into positions that
Oh,
they
good. Okay.
felt that they were the only ones that could do. Right? There's new blood coming in to show that there is a path forward. There is a transition that's taking place for that to happen.
We're-
And,
Working on it, and so that's when
Yeah.
we're like also griping a little bit. Like things are happening. Just bear with us. We promise things are happening. Holy shit! The reno we're doing, which is DOC and marshals right now, is expansive. We have a bunch of court cases that we're going through. It's happening, but
Yeah, I don't put this on you. My
no, I know.
reaction is more
it's very
like
frustrating.
I
It's very frustrating. I know that.
hearing that you're the only one that reviewed it after having it sent it to the others. I assume the rest of them finally actually looked at it, and to hear they didn't, I am losing internally screaming.
Let me ask you something, Nino. You gave me those audits. What?
Yeah.
Month
ago.
and a half ago.
Yeah.
This legislative process we were talking about. The governor had the SAG letter. I got made a justice 2 weeks ago.
And you've done more than they have in their entire
But we're not
existence.
talking about that. But I am saying
Oh, I
things are
did.
happening and they're getting done. Weiss has been here for 2 days and he's been pulling crazy hours.
I
It's
got you.
happening. But,
I
yeah.
think that's what I needed to hear, because, and I hope you understand that's kind of where it comes from. It's like, man, there's so
I know.
many of you. There's no comment on this, but to hear that it's only you two kind of doing it makes more sense, right?
Well, yeah.
And-
We both just only got made justices. That's why things are happening.
Look, I think your FOIA is probably should be the example of how things are going to go. Like things
Mhm.
actually happened.
Barrett got
I-
that shit done ASAP.
Yeah.
That's where the
So
idea
nice.
of
I'm
the
so
state
proud
clerk
of
stuff
him.
came from. Is essentially, if Barrett can get done what all those departments said is unreasonably burdensome, what else can we just take off their plate and just do as the DOJ better?
Yeah.
And that's where I think if we shift the FOIA stuff to that methodology, you're going to see
what was the
responses
burden?
just like Barrett.
It was
Oh,
just a lot.
Barrett. Yeah.
Barrett.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There-
Barrett fulfilled your
Because
FOIA
FOIAs you
request in
finally
48
got,
hours.
right?
Right?
From
the time
Spark
he
hates me
started.
now, but it's fine.
She also should honestly be fired, if I'm going to be honest.
We'll do an internal investigation.
Yeah. Or I should take her ACR on me and send it back her way and ask her how the fuck she came up with certain conclusions based on next to no information. Like,
It is
Yeah.
an ACR
Well, hey, we can
against
finally
a
look at
marshal. That's
marshal
you, pal.
documents too. So
I'm
it's
sorry?
happening.
say again?
We can finally look at marshal documents too. So when it comes to court cases,
Oh my
we'll be able to
God.
see those.
Thank God.
And to Weiss's point, if you have your FOIA, you are well within your right to do what you feel necessary.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna take this into perspective. I think this keeps falling into the same place of where my anger kicks off from. When we have these meetings, it's like, we the DOJ, and I'm thinking y'all have all 5 of you done whatever, and y'all are just coming in as the mouthpieces. And then I find out, wait, no, it was only you guys doing the work. And then it's like, you know what I'm saying? Does that
stand together? But yes, I appreciate you looking ahead. It has been very frustrating, but we will always kind of, as a department, link arms.
I hate that so
and say
much.
It's the DOJ is a different kind of entity where we have to. Obviously, we're going to always have people who disagree with us, when it comes to like choosing one side or the other, interpreting the law. So it makes the most sense for us to use the plural we.
I feel
even though
like
it's frustrating.
I feel like that mentality, my opinion, I don't expect y'all to, take it on,
course.
is that mentality made sense until this new form of government came in. And now there is more transparency and more push towards who's behind the legislation, right? And so that dialogue can take place and we know who's involved in it. And that transparency and that like openness leads to a more democratic city, right? Like,
I agree to an extent, but I don't want to use the word optics here, but I'm cooked and can't think of a better idea. It's not a great look of justices because trust me, we banter, we go back and forth, we disagree, we are human, right? We have our own opinions, we have our own stances. But if justices aren't agreeing on something and it's back and forth in a very public forum, then that's not a good look for the rest of the city. That shows only instability.
Happens, but if
the
that were
Supreme
the
Court
case,
doesn't deliberate in public.
Correct.
No, but they released their conclusions to public. They all write their piece.
So do we.
Okay, so to that point, I guess it's a little different here because obviously the way legislation is enacted is a bit different. But internally,
that's not
I wouldn't
true.
Mind so like if actually before I speak on this, I'm going to go read something.
So I agree. That is true in a
pro
court
transparency.
case. Y'all do it here, but when it comes to these meetings, right, about law and legislation, we get less of that, right? And we're asking for more of it.
You saw me and Weiss not agreeing on every footing in there.
And that's what I want to see more of, yeah.
But see, that is where I disagree almost because I feel like
Yeah.
Arcadia and I should be doing that and coming.
I agree.
You know what?
With the justices and presenting
Because it's just
unified
Nino. There's
front.
not another Los Santos voice in there. There's Blaine County's voice. There's the medical
But
voice.
that's where it comes to majority amongst the justices.
Right.
The one thing that we have to be able to trust within the justices, and ultimately, the Supreme Court type deal, also same vein. If a decision is made, that decision is backed. If a decision is made by the majority, right? So if 3 of the 5 justices or 4 of the 5 justices, if all of them disagree with me, and I feel strongly about it away, if I'm outvoted by the other justices in majority, I'm going to support the position of the DOJ.
Correct.
Maybe part of the issue is that we had I'm not saying we go back on what we already agreed with. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Is we audited 2 documents. And now we're talking about discussing it, right? But if it instead went through the regular audit process, we wouldn't have this issue, right?
Talking about
now we're saying
Well, you were only talking about discussing it because you wanted us to, without going through the whole audit, just roll it back type deal. And that's the only purpose of the discussion. If you are, nothing is stopping you. I'm not saying that this discussion or that process needs to stop your audit.
There was more to it, Weiss, because we were heavily encouraged by the governor to get it sorted out in the meeting.
Just sorted?
Yeah, that's true. Nino's right on that front.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be kind of like a, hey, you guys need to figure this out situation rather than it go, I guess, through quote proper channels. It was,
Because it's
that's
a
what
lot
of things.
If we wanted to do the discussion, that's fine. That doesn't say, I'm happy to
I think the reason why
get it resolved.
I can understand Nino's frustration is because this was handed to the justices. I gave it to Hart and Hallow maybe a month ago, or maybe a week or so ago.
Yeah.
And now we're finally getting to the place of having a conversation, and the answer to that is yes, Nino, because me and Weiss are here.
Okay, that makes significantly more sense that y'all are backing it, and what I assumed was the rest had that's fucking cooked, to be honest. But okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I
sorry,
never
man.
really, I'm backing. I didn't back necessarily any positions other than my own in that meeting because I didn't even
Yeah.
know what was being discussed. I have
It's
documents.
the
Well,
second
that-
day
I
on the
didn't have
job,
shit.
no,
man.
no,
I felt
absolutely.
so
I ain't
bad.
had shit, man.
Yeah, that's why, I'm with you on that, Weiss. That makes a lot more sense. We don't know that in there, right? So once again, it's
Well, it's not a great look, and we know how the DOJ looks right now. We're not idiots,
Yeah.
but we're trying
I've
to
got a
keep the
mess to
ship
clean up.
going. Oh, it's a fucking dumpster fire engulfed in
It's a mess. But
gasoline flames.
the
It's bad.
gonna do and step in and this is historically, I throughout my career have been pointed at problems that nobody else wants to solve. And
great.
why though? I don't understand. Well, welcome
well,
to
I mean,
my
very
fucking
good at
position.
it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Wow.
He's very good at it. I've known him for long enough to say that. I've learned that from him.
I do the best I can in anything that I do. I do go wherever my assistance is most needed.
Are you
and
good
at
with
this
Scrum
point in
by any
time-
chance?
The fuck is wrong?
Yeah.
I'm getting
Are you-
flashbacks.
are you-
no.
Me, I mean, I'm
Seven
an old
Sigma
man.
Black-
You know, I don't follow any of that. No idea what you're talking about, pal.
I used to
Wait,
use
what do
it
you
in
mean? There's
programming.
nothing. This is old. It was
Oh.
made by Hewlett Packard in the 70s.
Yeah, that's fair.
So what?
I'm sorry?
So what full method, right?
No, waterfall. No, it's not. You're joking,
No,
right?
Scrum.
Scrum is not waterfall. It's the antithesis
No,
of it.
workflow.
It's
Workflow.
Oh,
Yeah,
workflow. Sorry, yeah,
yeah.
I think you're
Sorry, it's just
whispering. I couldn't.
Scottish.
Like project.
I thought
No,
I
I'm just
heard
too Scottish,
waterfall.
it's fine.
You're very
Yeah.
Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get this sorted out. I'm not like. We'll get this sorted.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We
I'm
will
not. I
get
don't
it
say I'm
figured
not
out.
too stressed about it because I am stressed
Yeah.
about it. There's a lot of work to do and a lot that needs to get done.
Okay.
But
All right.
I'm confident that we will come to a resolution and move things forward in a productive manner for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And thanks for being
I
with
won't
us,
stop
Nino.
until we're there.
Does suck that this has been most of your term.
I mean,
Think
I got
about
an
it.
entire
Right.
building, and
yeah, Bruh,
We don't have
that's
term
super-
limits. If I could just round 3, pal.
I barely wanted to do round 2.
Okay.
And we'll see. It depends what the governor promises me next. So, I
Fair
think he
enough. I
told
mean,
me I
if
was
it-
gonna get the island of Sanguine, but
okay.
yeah.
I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm done. I'm
All
gonna
right.
go throw open.
We got to start
to bed.
talking about
Good
like
night.
laws externally to the.
There's nothing that you could say that's gonna make me run, pal.
Okay.
I'm here for the long haul.
Yeah. Listen, let me after I see you for more than 2 weeks, then let me know. Yeah.
Okay.
And plus you had how long have you been gone for? You had like a fucking 2-month break. Of course you're here for the long run. You already had your vacation.
No, wait. Listen. Remember when I said I get pointed at problems? When I first got brought in as a judge, right? I was elected, so I was not able to take docket cases. The biggest issue for the first 3 weeks of my tenure was that there were like 50 pending docket cases. I got allowed to take docket cases, and within 60 days, 100 cases were cleared off the docket.
Okay. All right.
I got burnt the fuck out doing 100 cases in 60 days. It was insane. And so if you look at any of my signatures on my docket postings, right below my name, you can take a little gander at what the hell I went and did for 2 months.
That's crazy. I don't want a dick measuring contest, but I had the director after me. I had all the marshals after me, whose reports are hidden. I had Blaine County Sheriff's Office after me. I had Andy Jones after me. They all tried to get me out of office, all tried to impeach me. There's like a fucking 8-page ACR that I just got for you.
I don't know why, while I was gone, things went to all hell, but now...
it was always shit. You know how all this started? I became the mayor, and the first thing the director did is force someone to investigate me over changing the G6 slider because she thought I was embezzling funds. But doing G6 for a day while trying to
I
figure
have,
out
I have
how much
questions for
contract.
you on all that.
Mhm.
I need to understand how all that works, at least as it relates to the
Corruption.
DOJ people getting paid. No, just
How you
sliders
raise.
and the like.
Misunderstanding of the Constitution, freedoms.
What?
Like, what do you mean? Like, how do you become like that? Like,
No. I'm saying as it relates to all of the DOJ people, clerks, lawyers, judges, when you guys set the pay for them, is that my understanding? Then how do you calculate how much that is? Do I need to reimburse you guys?
brother,
Help.
that is a much bigger conversation.
Okay.
You could
I want to fix
reimburse.
it.
We don't have a way to reimburse. I would love to do things like that. Pred right now is owed money because there was an agreement made. The DOC is getting paid $500 an hour. You know that? Because there was an agreement
How do we fix this?
Well, the way it was is that Angel agreed to pay Pred, and then she stopped, and then she disappeared.
Okay. Well, okay.
So-
So this is what I'm saying. How fix, please? A few word, not what.
Let's set up a meeting tomorrow and let's solve it.
Okay.
Like genuinely,
Fantastic.
that's what I want to
Yes.
do. I'm here literally every day except
Whatever
for Wednesday.
whatever the pay availability is, let me know what the sliders go to, and we'll figure out rates internally for what things should be set at. And I don't mind
Do it.
paying and
Yes.
reimbursing.
No,
on
no. This is not how
weekly,
it
monthly
works.
basis.
I'm
whatever
the
hell. No? Okay.
extremely busy one. You call me tomorrow whenever you're free and say let's talk about this, and we fix it in that meeting.
Okay.
Sound good? Or whatever it is, I fix it that day. You know, I'm not.
Yeah, all right.
You know, and
I don't know how any of it works, so I just want to get a little bit read in of how that
I set
works
an
and
amount.
what it is, and I'll fix it. But,
Yep.
like, you can set it, but I'll figure out what we want to do in terms of rates and reimbursements. And shit on my
Yes.
side.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That is absolutely perfect.
That's why I am. Look at me as the problem solver, please. These big problems that have been like issues
No.
that have systemically gone unfixed. Just let me fix them.
I'm gonna wait until I see your actions, then I'm gonna judge you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Val.
I don't. What? It's not okay. That's the right
That's
way to
fair.
do it.
I mean, that's,
In the same way,
that's
I'm not
fair.
gonna judge you negatively until you give me your
I appreciate
action
that.
show me to be negative. You know, because
Like I said, in everything that I've ever done, every decision I've ever made, I hope it's been clear that I've always been pretty much down the middle and fair and equal across the board
you
to everyone,
introduce-
unbiased in any way. Like
except
real,
you
when I first came
introduce
in-
the fucking exception, good faith exception.
In what circumstance?
In the case of Mr. K about 2.5 months ago, in which he was charged with a warrant that was a raid warrant, which was issued over not having GSR or a weapon. Ruby York was found. She lost that trial, but due to the good faith exception, the contents of the raid were still accepted and charges were pressed as a consequence, and thus came the precedential, precedence that was set. You made that ruling. And as a consequence of that, that good faith exception has now opened a massive wormhole of God knows what. Luckily, people don't pay attention to court, so it hasn't been utilized anywhere. And I'm not going to tell anyone about it because it would be really good for the prosecution, but absolute dog shit for defense.
I mean, to the point that it got abused or in any way, shape, or form, it has to be curtailed to a certain degree or clarified. I believe in that particular instance, it was reasonable, and I have to go back and look at the notes in the ruling because
I believe he was found on the ground and then arrested based on that. No. Warrant was put out based on some bullshit, but then executed based on that. I was mostly just going to give you a hard time and show you how good my memory was.
Okay,
It's actually really fucking good. But I'm not too pressed about it. Though I do think the good faith exception, if ever utilized, should be codified in law because good faith exception goes fucking deep. And
yeah, that's fair.
You know, as much as you may have a perception as to how far it should go, you know, eventually there's going to be a different judge and they're going to go fucking deep as shit. That's not going to make any sense.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is just like as of right now, even we've onboarded I think 10 somewhere between 10 and 15 lawyers in the last 3 or 4 days. Severely billing out those ranks, but they're trying to get up to speed on all. And a lot of them have a good understanding, knowledge baseline coming into this, what they should be ready for. The amount of legislation that's there for them to understand and be expected to have a working knowledge of is unreasonable. It's like anybody new coming into the system, it's a fucking mess, to be blunt.
Yeah, so Barrett has raised that to me. I've also looked at this stuff. We need a better system. So we had one of those things that needs to be done, and I don't know when, but there should be a tree of inheritance. And what that means is you have the Constitution at the top, and then you have primary legislation, secondary legislation, at most tertiary.
Mm-hmm.
And so the leaf, the ones that are tertiary, are never referenced by anything else. But you get what I'm saying? And without that, you don't know where things are derived from. Now, there are ways around it, but that would be way too fucking complicated for San Andreas. It's already difficult enough as it is. And part of that may mean that, I don't know, I would not necessarily be opposed with, let's wait and see what comes down the line, because there might be some MDT things that may be needed, to be honest. Like, I don't think we should seriously consider, is there better ways for this information to be presented? Because singular documents are dog shit for everybody, right? And
there absolutely, that's not necessarily a question. There absolutely is a better way for this information to be presented. I guess the question comes down to what is the best way and what is feasible and actually possible to get done.
Yep. Okay. Anyways,
that is probably the biggest scope of my authority that I've yet to discover and understand is, to what extent I can actually drive what level of change.
Oh, that only goes through us. You can only do it through court rulings.
I'm talking about change, like you're saying, in terms of
MDT
change the way
stuff.
the MDT works, or change the way somebody does, construction.
That makes sense. All right. Well,
Weiss,
I appreciate your time. Please do call me tomorrow or the next day. And if anything needs to be solved, please let me know, because I'd like to solve some of this stuff in advance of these meetings. I just that's
what I said. That's what I was getting at. Is throughout the week, hopefully we can keep talking and get shit done.
Okay.
Without it having to wait till the next meeting. So
all right,
it's on the same page.
Love it. All right, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Well,